So, before we begin, I would like to take a moment of silence for Brodie Lee, aka John Huber, who sadly passed away a couple days ago. So, I'm going to put up a banner and a ticker, and then we're going to be doing a moment of silence starting now. 3 minutes. Okay. Uh, our 3 minute moment of silence is done. And with that being said, hello everybody. Welcome to Good Old Wrasslin, episode 3. Um, I decided to do a little, kind of like a 3 minute moment of silence for John Huber, mainly because I wanted to do a minute for like his, I guess like his career in a sense. Like he's had a long career, but I went with like his stuff on the Indies, his WWE days, and AEW. So 3 minutes. I, I maybe I could have done longer, maybe not. I don't know. But it is a solemn episode in a way because, and it's actually an episode I never thought I would have had to do in a long time. So I figured episode 3 would be starting out with us remembering Brodie Lee or Luke Harper if you watch WWE. Uh, so I would like to. I'm not going to do this the disclaimer this time because I do maybe think it could be a little distasteful. So we'll kind of get in. I'll let Deshaun share like do his stuff like maybe at the end. So like because I do think we should spend a little bit of time with you know Brodie Lee or Luke Harper and just kind of talk about them. So I guess our first topic really is remembering John Huber. Well, I guess I'll start with you, Deshaun. When was the first time you saw John Huber wrestle?
Um, the first time when I saw Luke Harper, Brody Leach, Jaw, Well, he won in NXT when I can remember who he faced. I do remember that he did won the match in his first debut match. The one I got into him, I didn't watch because back then I didn't watch wrestling that much back then. I did watch wrestling, but not that too much. And I heard him wrestling community said he a good person, and I never met the guy, but he we talk about here in the WWE, even AEW, he very good wrestler. He got good. He won the multiple time tag team champion. Also, he won the Intercontinental champion. Also, he AEW TNT champion. So y'all watch AEW or do they have treated you on Wednesday of Brodie Lee and Luke Harper. The show was actually a very good show. You know, his son, his wife were there. People wore like the whip-band or his name, so that people were very emotional. So, in mind, I know a lot of people, going around there. What what's your favorite Luke Harper or Brodie Lee match? I have two of their other favorite moments. My favorite moment of Luke Harper, Strap Brodie Lee, was when he won the Intercontinental champion and the TNT champion. That was my favorite moment on Harper. Also, one of the most underrated moment, I would say that he almost got the WWE championship push when they put him in a rivalry with almost did with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. You don't want to check that rivalry out. Go back into that 17 straight there, man. It was fun. And my favorite Luke Harper match actually was one in AEW, one in WWE. My favorite Luke Harper match was at TLC 2014 ladder match for the Intercontinental Champion Darth Ziggler versus Luke Harper. That match was great, and you could tell that guy could be great in the future. Of course, they did WWE did, WWE do, you know. And when he came to AEW, he won the TNT champion. Should he have been a champion longer? Yes, he should have been longer. But he did have that great match with Cody Rhodes. He that match in AEW he wrestling career was in AEW in October, I think, when he faced Cody Rhodes in a dog collar match. I watched the match. That match was great. I wanna say prayer to his wife, his kids. They're gonna miss their dad. Just a heartbreaking loss. He was so young. All I can say is R.I.P. New Harper, Golden Knee, Stretch.
Well, I think you kind of said it best. I actually didn't see John Huber or Luke Harper wrestle when it wasn't until really the main roster where I really got to really get to see him wrestle. I wouldn't say I didn't really get to see him wrestle on a weekly basis until 2016 because that's when I actually when I had cable and I was watching SmackDown Live and Raw on a weekly basis. I would watch Luke Harper, recently came back, from No Mercy, and he was teaming with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and he won the tag belts. And Bray Wyatt just gave him the belts. They both I would say it's like they're the champions, and it was like very strange to me in a way. And because if you're the champions, why aren't you going to hold the belts? But but looking back on it, it was nice. Um, oh man, I guess favorite Brodie Lee Luke Harper match. Oh, I'm gonna say in WWE, I'm gonna have to say Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber. I thought the match was really good. that was one of those examples where I think Luke Harper could have made it as a single star in that company.
Yeah.
And especially looking back now, it's very unfortunate that, because to me, I think Luke Harper should have been a multiple-time world champion. Like, he didn't have to hold the title very long. Like, you didn't have to give him a year-long title reign. Like, but a few months with the title would have been really cool, especially if you were going to do it. Like, because to me, the problem, in 2017 is, they went with the whole Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton thing. Why not just make it a triple threat between Luke, Randy, and Bray? Since that clearly would have made more sense. Like, you didn't have. I don't know if they would have put the title on Luke then, but it would have been a cool moment. AEW, I would probably say the dog collar match with Cody for the TNT title. I definitely think when he went to AEW and formed the Dark Order, it definitely rejuvenated himself, because I will say, his WWE run did get kind of stale. I wouldn't say it got like stale, but it got to a point where it's like, when you look at the company at that time, you could tell Luke really wasn't in the cards, and because the character was kind of bland. The only real thing he had to his character was that he was he was just a crazy guy with tank top and jeans. Where when he became Brodie Lee, he had more of a character to him, and it definitely was like a career rejuvenation and being able to win a singles title. I even said, like, why not make him the AEW champion? Like, to me, but like now knowing what happened now, I'm fine with that. But it's one of those things where even if it was for like a short period of time, it would have been nice to put a world title on him at least once. Man, it's a shame, just you basically said it best. He was gone too soon, and it's something that I didn't even like. Not a lot of people knew, and like I didn't know the guy personally, but from the tributes that the wrestlers were putting out on Twitter and sharing stories, and you could just tell from those stories that he was a great guy. I kind of like call the situation more like the Eddie Guerrero thing. Like, it kind of I would say it came out of nowhere, but it's just like, it's so heartbreaking. And for the first time in a long time, fans, and wrestlers from both companies, like both AEW and WWE, like, they were united. For just like, even if it's not for like a long period of time, for that one maybe few days, maybe even more than that, they were able to band together and say, and just look back at what happened. Like, there's no bad blood, like there's no fighting, like it's just a lot of people, even you see WWE superstars, they watched the AEW tribute show on Wednesday and they said it was fantastic. And you kind of have to think like the guy that he was. You don't really get that anymore. And again, I haven't known the guy. I'm just a kid here in New York, but from what I heard, he's just a great guy, and he will be severely missed. I guess while we're here, like we can talk. Let's talk about the tribute stuff from even both WWE and AEW. The AEW show was fantastic. I would say it is probably the best AEW show ever. It really just, I don't know how to put it, but it was really just like a very emotional show. From 10 Bell Salute to the matches to just like the individual superstars, talking in the interviews, or like just the sit down interviews. Like, to me, that was it was nice. Like that made sense, and and even like them retiring the TNT title design that Brodie held and gave it to his son. I was like, wow, that was awesome of them. And I don't know, what do you think about that, Deshaun?
Think about when they retired the TNT champion,
Yeah,
the old one. Um, I had no problem with it. I had no problem with it. His dad did hold the title, so I didn't have no problem with it. I know they're gonna do another new design anyway. I have no problem with it. That was for Honor Joe and Milk and Trap Brodie. So that was good honor for him.
yeah. To me, like I was actually fine with it because, in a way, it's like people even say, like, even like in the comment section, like the AEW is basically like a family, and you can kind of feel that in a way. Like it's more like a united front. Like it's not like, and I will say, the WWE it's not, it's basically like a madhouse. Like I would say AEW is like, you can just tell by the show, like they truthfully care. Um, but it's just like, I mean, to me, that tribute show was absolutely perfect. It did what it needed to do. It paid respect to his career, and it even like showed pictures from, like, WWE people like the New Day and Bray and like even Eric Rowan, who
Oh
came
yes,
out.
yeah.
So I think I shared something on my profile. Um, Shit, hang on. I had something on my profile here. Um, oh, here we go. Here, I'm gonna share this thing on my Twitter. Here, I don't think it'll be copyrighted. I hope it doesn't. But I tweeted because I retweeted this, and it's like Eric Rowan had the little post, the little board saying goodbye for now, my brother. Sorry, it's a little bright. See you down the road. Like that was like a whoa. That's like a huge, like, like I would say that was the one thing that really made me emotional in a way. Because imagine just like, because again, like, imagine knowing the guy for that long. You know, like that has to be crushing. Um, it's like it's just like it's still surreal. Like you just can't put it into words. You know what I mean? Like it's still fresh, and it's it's strange, and it's surreal, and it's sad, heartbreaking, and for the first time in a long time, a lot of us just finally, banded together, which I just find funny that it took, someone to die for everybody to kind of unite. It's like, I'm glad that they were able to put aside their differences for just a short bit of time so everybody can just, be able to, I get, not really forgive and forget, but more so in a way to, I guess, I don't know how to really put into words, but to, like, maybe, just pay respect. Maybe that's what I was looking for, paying respect. But yeah, man, like that Brodie Lee will be severely missed, John Huber, and and the thing is, he really did not have a bad career. He really did not. I mean, he's a multiple-time tag champion in the WWE where he was. He had he like you said before, he was an Intercontinental champion. He was he even won the tag titles at WrestleMania and being TNT champion. Like he had like so much. Like it's just, again, like I say, it's unfortunate of just them. It's just, to me, it's unfortunate that I really wish he got a chance to become world champion. That's the one thing that sucks. And also I do want to get into WWE's little tribute thing. So WWE didn't do what AEW did. They did like a little, like, I guess they gave like their usual like picture of, the wrestler and then the date, that they, like, the years that they were born and then they died, and they didn't do the 10 bell thing. But I said that's fine because because I do agree. I think the company that that the guy that Brodie or John Huber was working for, which was AEW, should be able to do that. But, when you're looking at the WWE, he was not employed. So WWE really wasn't responsible for it, nor do I think they should have done a video package. I mean, again, I don't know. Because, again, I feel like that's more for, like, WWE because, again, he wasn't working there. So, I mean, maybe a small one have been nice? Sure. But then again, from the wrestlers, that were telling their stories on Twitter, and, the small little tribute stuff, or, like during the show, yeah, it's like really, I thought WWE did a fine job of what they could do. Like, they couldn't really do a lot in that situation. And it does annoy me when some people are like, well, WWE didn't do this, WWE didn't do that. Well, first of all, they didn't even have to do any of that. They could have just pretended like, oh, everything's okay. But no, WWE decided to, have a, I guess in a sense, like, WWE wanted to just do like a small thing to kind of just be like, you know what, like, this is like pay respect to the guy. So, what did you think about WWE like tribute stuff to Sean?
I was okay with it. It will. I know it did kind of trailer that I don't mind, doing some little Easter, Edgar Brodie trying to couple doing trivia, weighing up with Bang, I kind of like that stuff. I know a lot of people say, oh, why did they show a picture of him? Why they do the 10 bell? They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. Like, example, I work with WWE right now, but I went to, let's see, TNA. I died before that. If WWE might mention me? Yeah, they're gonna mention me. But do they have to do like a 10 bell thing for me? No, they don't have to. But all I gotta say is sometimes you know how to do it. Sometimes you got to, but you still gotta do a trivia to the guy that work with you. Hint that you ain't like somebody that I ain't about to call her by the name, but you know. But it wasn't like trivia for WWE. I know not a big guy part with it, but I don't. So I like the thing WWE did.
Well, the thing is, though, too, is that, again, both companies are very flawed. I will even say that. Both companies are very flawed, but I will say this, though, when it came to the tribute stuff, I think they did a respectful job. Like, they didn't, because, again, like you said, WWE didn't have to do what AEW did. Like, it wasn't, like, but you also got to think in WWE's logic, though, too, is even there, like, he wasn't, like, a huge star. Like, because, again, even if it was a huge star, like, I don't think WWE would have had a 10 bell salute unless they were signed with the company, or if you've been like, or if like you're a huge name. But for WWE to do that, though, like, I think, yeah, I would. I thought WWE did a fine job of what they had. Do I think he's going to go in the Hall of Fame? Maybe, maybe not. To me, I don't know if I would say, like, maybe do it maybe out of respect and have like Bray and Eric maybe induct them, but again, that remains to be seen, though. I don't know how that would work in a sense. Like, I mean, maybe yeah, they can. I think WWE should, and I think if AEW ends up doing a Hall of Fame, I think John Huber should be the first inductee.
Yes.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna go because like I said, I'm probably not gonna go very long here. Because again, I think I'm going to make this about an hour. I apologize. It's just again, I'm kind of restricted on time, and I mean we basically got everything out that we wanted to say. I mean, unless like Deshaun, like what else do you have left to say? In terms of John Huber.
All I gotta say is when he went with the Wyatt family, he was good. Also, that he is a very underrated wrestler. If you want to talk about a WWE should have thought that there's still more who should have more multiple championship. I would say New Harper, strike for the knee, but do, but I don't think he should have like more like multiple WWE championship, But I think he should have been in a WWE championship picture. So here they, but he your favorite underrated wrestler. Also, rest in peace.
Yeah, that was very well put. Like I said, I agree with you. I think as far as John Huber, Luke Harper, Brodie Lee, whatever you really want to remember him by, he really was an underrated wrestler. Like he was one of those guys. Like if you put him with the right guy, he will have a great match with him. Like just case in point, that Randy Orton match. Like that match, to me, I didn't think would have been great, but then it turned out to be really good. And his promo work was great, and his wrestling was great. To me, and like I agree with you, like you didn't have to make him like a multiple time world champion. Like, should he have at least won the world title once, or at least been in the title picture? Absolutely. He could have even won a few more titles down the line, maybe in terms of the singles stuff. Yeah, I agree with that. Do I think, do I think he is? Yeah, like he is one of those wrestlers that you really can't find nowadays. And overall, he is going to be missed by a lot of people, like his family, friends, fans. Like it's just so many people that and like my heart goes out to everybody. My heart goes out to his family, friends. Just everybody in general. My heart does go out to them. And that to me, I think John Huber should be remembered for what he's done for the business and just being a great person.
And also that we can't, I know he went well in WWE and AEW, but we cannot forget that he did a lot of this in the indie scene.
Oh yeah, like he was a great indie wrestler from because even from like posts and stuff, like you could just like from guys he worked with, like he was basically wore the same attire that he did, when he was with the Wyatts. Like he had the tank top, he had the jeans, he was a successful indie guy, and it's in one of those examples where it's just that I don't know how I would put it in words, but he's another indie guy that WWE kind of screwed up. It definitely wasn't. I guess in a way, like he could have gone far if I don't know how I would put this, but I think he could have went very far. I wish he was just used more in the main event scene, and just being able, because I think he could have gone far. I mean, that's pretty much all for me. Do you have anything else, Deshaun, before we get to our next topic?
No, not really.
Okay. So next up is actually a piece of news. Before we get into our pay-per-view review, we're gonna do our Booker T's in-ring return. So I got news from Ringside News, saying that it could be possible that Booker T might be teasing a WWE return. It's kind of interesting news. I'm going to pull up the article. I think this might spark some conversation between us, and hopefully, more people will hopefully come in for a little bit, something like that. One quick second here. We're gonna share screen. Teases in-ring return. Here we go. So Booker T teases WWE in-ring return. He hasn't wrestled in over 8 years, but you can never say never in pro wrestling. The 55-year-old 6-time world champion is still in great shape. One fan tweeted at Booker T and really put him over, and he wanted to know if an in-ring return would be in the cards. And Booker T basically said, "Never say never." And his last match was in 2012, but he has not been in a WWE ring since. What do you think about this, Deshaun? Like, what do you think about Booker T coming back and possibly, coming back to wrestle?
Okay. I'm gonna say good thing and bad thing at the same time. Good thing is he want to wrestle. We don't know if he still got it. We don't know if he's still good wrestler or not. And then Booker T is a five-time world champion from WCW anyway. But if Booker T do come back, I will be happy. But the problem is that please don't make him a Goldberg type. Don't make him like a Goldberg to the way like he win like multiple world champion beat for young talent. I don't want to see that. If Booker T do come back, I want to see him put over talented. Like example, he faced let's see Ricochet. He put Ricochet make Ricochet a star. I would love to see that. So should he be in like a title picture, a title match? Maybe one. But should he win a title? No. But if Booker T do come back, I will be happy. Please don't make him a Goldberg type of dude that go to come back, go and win a champion. I do not want to see that.
Well, I would say this though, when it comes to Booker T, like we've seen what happened with Edge at the Royal Rumble. Like you can tell, like Edge, looked great, and I would even say, he's put on very good performances since then. And even though Edge got hurt, at Backlash, I would say like the Orton Edge match was really good, and it definitely showed Edge can still go. So when it comes to Booker T, I think he can, because again, Booker T is one of those guys who, back in the day, because again, I never really got to watch him, while he was, at his prime and stuff. But going back and watching his stuff, from WCW and WWE especially, like Booker T was always, a delight, to watch, as a wrestler and even as a commentator. I thought he was very entertaining to listen to, just like Booker T, telling Michael Cole that he dreamt one day that he died. I wanted to bring some humor to the stream a little bit. But in a way, it's like, do I think is the trope here going to be, oh, well, Edge came back, so I'm going to come back? Everything, it's possible. I'm not saying I want to see Booker T come back. Maybe for like a couple appearances here and there, sure. I kind of agree with you. Like he shouldn't. Like I'm not saying he shouldn't like not put like Booker T should still look great, but he should still put over talent. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if it's a lower mid card guy, sure, why not? I'm not, because again, we saw that with Dolph Ziggler and Goldberg. Because by this point, Dolph really, he's kind of the laughing stock. So I mean, Dolph losing to Goldberg really wasn't surprising. But maybe Booker T coming back for like a one-off appearance here and there. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe, do I think he should be a world champion? No, God no.
No.
Should he maybe be in the title picture maybe once? Sure. If you maybe want to do like a feud between him and like a world champion that you're trying to build up, yeah, I would be okay with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say maybe like you could even bring in Booker T as like a part of the Hurt Business.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
Like, I mean, that I would think that would work.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be like, he could, because again, he could be like an MVP type role where he's kind of like the mouthpiece, but at the same time, he can wrestle a little bit. Yeah, like do something like that. Like, you could even make him a tag team champion. Like, you don't have to make him like a world champion if you're gonna put a title on him. Why not just put a tag belt on him?
Yeah,
For a little bit.
like he don't have to win a champion, but I need to put him in like a one championship match. He don't have to win. Of course, like in 2012 when he faced Cody Wolfen in the current champion. Did he won a match? No, but he did. Did he won the match? No, but he did have a one title match. That I want to see if Booker T come back. I don't care the world championship, the mid card, the freaking 24/7 championship. But all I want to see is Booker T one championship match. He don't have to win it. Of course, please no, I don't want him to win at all. But I think he should be in one title match. If he like example, if he have faced Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, we all know who's going to win that match. But should he get? I think he should get a one title match. But it's probably that what title that he should go with. I know you said the tag team champion, but that would be great, But I think he should, be in a one shot in mid card champion. He don't have to win it. Or the main event picture, he should not win the title. He could join the Hurt Business. So that would be interesting. So all I say is, should he win a title? No. But at least you get him one championship match.
Well, I'll say this, like, again, when you talk about him not winning a title, like, if he was with the Hurt Business and you could do like a Freebird thing where, every member of the Hurt Business can be a champion. So you could technically have Booker T be a champion, but it could work. It's just a matter of like, okay, does the story make sense? Is it, because let's be honest, the tag team division is not really that good right now.
No.
So, I mean, maybe bring in Booker T maybe as like a tag team guy. It could bring some life into it. I'm not saying it has to be like a permanent thing, but bring him in for maybe a month or maybe a few months to kind of spruce up your tag division, give it, the kick in the ass that it needs. And yeah, like I think it can work. Like, and even just have, because like we know that Booker T is a great tag team wrestler, and we know that Booker T is a great talker. So just maybe have him be like a part of the Hurt Business and have him be like a tag team guy, and then let maybe one of the other Hurt Business guys go for like a mid card title or something, or hell, give him a world title since that's where they should be to begin with. But I digress. But yeah, I think overall, like, I wouldn't mind seeing Booker T come back. I do agree with you. Like, and again, kind of going back to the Goldberg thing, it's just like you don't want to have Booker T come back to then bury a talent. Like, that's not something you should do. And I don't think Booker T would come back for that. Or at least I don't think he would, because we know Booker T's track record. I think Booker would do the job. It doesn't have to be like a mat. Like, you could have it just be like maybe a one-off Rumble appearance, or you could have it be just like maybe a couple appearances here and there. Like, having it like that, or if you want him to be, a little bit more full-time, then yeah, do whatever you need to do, I guess. Keisha does have a question, so we'll get to that. What WWE Championship you want to come back? Well, that one's kind of hard because a lot of them came back in a sense. Like the UK title is basically the European title. the 24/7 title is basically the hardcore title. And we got another world title, so we can't bring back the world heavy. Like, that one's, like, I would maybe say bring back the TV title.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hell, maybe bring back the 6-man tag team title, so maybe give the New Day something to actually do. But we'll get into some that news as well. But let us, since we're basically done with the Booker T stuff, let us finally talk about TLC. This is the last pay-per-view WWE hosted for 2020. It is tables, ladders, and chairs, which you could probably guess that it has something to do with tables, ladders, and chairs. I'll let you start off, Deshaun. Like, we'll go into every match one by one. What did you think about the show overall?
I thought it was good. It has some problem. I will say that. If we get into the match, I will say that I'm gonna have a little problem with it. But you look at it overall, it was a decent pay per view. It never was bad. It wasn't bad matches. It was some okay matches, but it did have problems. But I will give the pay per view a 7.8 out of 10 for me.
All right. Yeah, overall, I will agree with you. I thought the show was pretty solid. I didn't think the show, it wasn't anything special, no. But I would say for the most part, I didn't have any real problems with it. I would say I have problems with it because I do. But I would say overall, like, it would say it's one of the stronger pay-per-views that WWE's put out this year. And I would even say this year, I think WWE did pretty okay with their pay-per-views. Now, their TV stuff they got to fix up, but pay-per-view wise, I think the quality has gone up a little bit, not by much, but a little bit. So I mean, yeah, it was another good effort, and I will talk about more about once we get more in depth. So I'm gonna guess you did not watch the pre-show match.
I didn't know that it was like a 6-man tag team match. That's the only one I know was in the pre-show. And no, I did not watch the pre-show at all.
It was, from what I'm reading here, an 8-man tag match between Big E, Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, and Otis versus King Corbin, the then Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, I mean, why Daniel Bryan? But okay.
That is a good question, and that's like a problem that I brought up in the Survivor Series reviews. Like, all these like guys that are on the pre-show should not be on the pre-show. You have Daniel Bryan in the pre-show. You had Big E on the pre-show. You had Sami Zayn on the pre-show. You had Cesaro and Nakamura be on the pre-show. Like, by this point, I'm used to Chad Gable being on the pre-show, but I was shocked even when Otis was on the pre-show. Not that I like Otis, but it's like you use him so prominently. And granted, I know it's still pay-per-view time, but to be on the pre-show, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, when any superstar be on the pre-show, you already know that you might don't get a push or WWE don't care about you.
And it's like, it's shocking, especially when you have Daniel Bryan, who, when you look at the start of the year, he was like in one of like the big world title feuds with, the Fiend for the Universal title, and now you're looking here at the end of 2020 where Daniel Bryan's now on the pre-show. It's like, I get, like, it's like, I know that eventually he's going to be facing Roman Reigns for the title, whether it be Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, more than likely WrestleMania. But to me, that's fine. But it's like, I would have rather him be maybe in like a one-on-one feud, or if you want to put him in a tag feud, then put like a random tag match in the card to maybe give it some more. Because that's also one of the reasons why I hate the pre-show, because it's so pointless. I get it. It's still the pay-per-view, but like, it's technically your opening match. But it's like, for people that don't watch the pre-show, like I don't, like, you don't know what's going on.
Yes. And also that I did hear that Daniel Bryan is now a part-timer.
Is he a part-timer?
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah, let me look. Let me check this out. I don't know if I would necessarily say he's a part-timer because he is still like working stuff.
Yeah, he working. I did heard that he worked in the backstage and stuff.
Well,
That
like I
was
know, but like he's still like wrestling a lot on TV. That's why I'm like, really? I don't know if I would say. I would say he's not. I don't know if I would say he's like a part-timer, but I would say he's like. I think he's slowing down.
that makes sense.
Yeah, like that's fine. Um. So let's just go. Let's start off with the first match, the WWE Championship TLC match between Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, and The Miz, which we will talk about when we get into the cash-in. I thought the match before Miz came in, I thought it was okay. I thought it's definitely not the greatest TLC match, especially, I was expecting a lot more. So I'd say I was kind of disappointed because knowing who the two guys were, this was an example of a match that did not need the TLC stipulation, if that makes any sense, because I think a normal one-on-one match between Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles would be great. It sucked because it had a TLC stipulation added to it. The match was kind of slow. It dragged on a little bit. It wasn't fantastic, if that makes any sense.
Um,
What did you think about the match before, Miz came out and decided to cash in?
well, before we go get into big thing, that I got one problem with it, and the match. Yes, the match was slow, but I thought the match in it it did kind of matter that I just watch. Yeah, it going slow, but I like it at the same time because every match don't have to be high flying, all the stuff. But yeah, the match did was slow everything, but should have like high flying where you see Drew McIntyre jump off the ladder. No, I don't want to see that.
No.
But but sometimes you don't have to go high flying through. Sometimes you gotta go slow. And I understand and why that the match is my favorite show. And let's be honest though, it has some good table spots, but
Oh, it did.
yeah,
I'll agree with that. It's just, to me, it's like with a TLC match, I expected more of a faster pace than what we got. Like, I'm not asking for like a high flying spot fest type of match. Like, I was more thinking more like a Dean Ambrose Drew McIntyre type match, or no, sorry, Dean Ambrose AJ Styles type TLC match, where it wasn't necessarily high flying spots, but just more like a quick pace.
hmm and
Because we know
also, oh
because we know AJ Styles and Drew can pull off a fast pace. That's why I was like, this is kind of weird.
yeah, and also that what was I saying again? Also that Agent Dyson was not going to be in the match. It actually was going to be Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre, but Braun Strowman got injured. Also that should the match should have then been a TLC match? I would say yes and no because if you had like a WWE Championship match without a stipulation, it would be kind of odd to me. But should have been a TLC match. I would say no. It would be odd to me, but it was like a regular match. I would be okay with.
All right, I respect that. So let's get into the last part of this match. So The Miz and
Oh,
John Morrison come out. The Miz came out with the briefcase, and John Morrison cashed in for The Miz. Emphasize on that because we will be getting back to that later because, we usually do the aftermath of each match. So The Miz is now in the match, which was stupid. I was like, okay, we already knew Miz was not going to win because of that. So Miz was going to climb up the ladder because, AJ and Drew were down. They were down. Miz was going to grab the title and then, almost came in or AJ Styles' bodyguard, I guess. He's kind of like the Diesel to like the Shawn Michaels,
Diesel
type
2.0.
to the character of AJ, which is fine. And I then you had that almost just carried him like a child, and he just dropped him through a table, and then John Morrison tried to smash a chair over his back, which the chair breaks like it usually does. Just joking, like, because usually when someone gets hit with a chair, like, they have to sell it, like, oh my god, this is the most painful thing ever. Meanwhile, the chair just breaks like in half and almost doesn't feel it. John Morrison runs away like a bitch, which then results in the match continuing as a triple threat, and McIntyre basically won the match. The finish was AJ Styles got knocked off the ladder. McIntyre hit a Claymore kick on Miz, which then McIntyre climbed up and retained the title. Personally, I was okay with the finish. It makes sense, I guess, if you're going to try and protect AJ. But even then, it's like, I don't know if this would necessarily make Drew look strong. Like, he did look resilient in the match, and it does tell a decent story. I was not a huge fan of the cash-in because the purpose of the Money in the Bank contract is you wait until your opponents are hurt, and then as a fresh guy, you win the title. That is always what I took Money in the Bank to be. The cash-in in the middle of a match is a very risky thing to do, and it's like the Miz just came off as very stupid here, which I don't like to think the Miz as, because the Miz is usually pretty smart and pretty resourceful. So to then just walk into the match being like, oh, yep, I'm going to win. It's like, it was just kind of weird and out of character for him. I give the match like a 6 or a 7. I give it a 6.5. I thought the match was okay, but I thought some of it was just weird. What did you think, Deshaun?
Speaking on the Money in the Bank, WWE have waste the Money in the Bank pre-game. First, you have Otis that should never won a pre-game at all. Second, you give it to the Miz that, okay, the Miz won the Money in the Bank. Okay, he might be the world champion. Next day, not the next day, but December, TLC cast in on the freaking middle of the match. The next I saw a guy who got cast in the Money in the Bank in the middle of the match was Seth Rollins. And no one had that time, but he became a world champion. But the Miz taking John Morrison, cast in the Money in the Bank. But we go get into that later where I am. But they wasted the Money in the Bank. Like let's see, like Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman with the Money in the Bank. They wasted. Who wanted the Money in the Bank? Brock Lesnar. Well, technically Brock Lesnar will entertainment. I count Brock Lesnar out. Otis wasted. The Miz kind of wasted, but he got the 3K back. Mm-hmm. And
Which we will be getting to like after we. So, what would you give your rating for this match?
okay, I'm gonna do two ways. At a one-on-one match, I give it 7, no, 6.9 out of 10. At a triple threat match, I give it 7 out of 10.
Okay, pretty
Because
fair.
because technically it was two match at the same time. You just added me and technically it was a triple threat match, so I gotta do two things.
Yeah. So here's the aftermath of everything. So basically, Miz, was like, "Oh, this sucks," and then it's revealed that John Morrison cashed in for him. So technically, the Miz did not cash in. So 2 weeks later, he gets the briefcase back, which I found to be pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Although it's like, again, regardless, you still participated in the match. Had you stopped him, I would have been like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And the referee's like, well, you technically cashed in. Like, okay, then that's the referee's fault. He fucked up. But it's like you still went with it. So technically, he shouldn't even have it. And it's just like they have to follow their own writing, like their own rules. Like it's like they're breaking the rules with this contract. It's like you can't just win it as like they can't just be handed it. Because didn't they establish, a couple years ago when this happened with James Ellsworth and Carmella, when Ellsworth technically won the briefcase, and Daniel Bryan, who was the general manager at the time, was like, no, you can't do that. And so then they had to put the briefcase up. Like, technically, no one should be Money in the Bank here because not only did Miz fail to cash in, but the Money in the Bank briefcase is it's useless. Like, what's the Miz going to do here now? Like, technically, is he a 3-time Money in the Bank winner? I don't even think he should even be considered a 2-time Money in the Bank winner and I would even say technically, I don't even think, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think Edge should be either, because Edge did not win the Money in the Bank briefcase in a ladder match.
Yes.
Now, I'm not trying to discredit Edge. I'm not trying to discredit the moment that happened when he won the briefcase the second time. It shouldn't count. That's just me. And I like The Miz. I like John Morrison. It's like, okay, I'm glad that The Miz got the briefcase back, but then it just makes the briefcase look terrible. So with Drew McIntyre, as far as Drew is concerned, he's going to be facing Keith Lee on Raw this Monday night on Legends Night. Yep, we're having a Legends Night. Yeah, I think Miz is going to cash in on Legends Night, and I think Miz is going to win the title, only to then drop it, then to lose it. I think Miz is going to be a transitional champion here, as much as I don't want that to happen. Like, he doesn't have to be, again, like I said earlier with the Brodie Lee stuff, it's you don't have to have the Miz be a long-term champion. Like, you don't have to have him be a champion for a year, even though he proved that with the IC title. Like, you could keep the belt on him for a year. But the WWE title is a different thing because you also have a lot of people that you have to push. And, especially guys on that brand, I don't think Miz is going to last very long with the title. What do you think, Deshaun? Do you think they're going to have Miz be a transitional champion if he does cash in on Monday?
He do cash in the Money in the Bank. I mean, not Money in the Bank. Raw. Yeah, because I don't see Drew McIntyre losing to the Miz. Like, it was 2016, 2017 Miz. Oh yeah, he gonna have the WWE Championship longer. But this is the 2020 to 2021 Miz. That, like, this man ain't the same anymore. When he went since 2016 or 17, even 2018. Even when he became babyface, they ain't the same Miz. And technically he a 3-timer in the bank, but then with technically they don't count because technically you're a 2-time. But you could say that with Edge, like Edge was 2-time in the bank, but did he won the Money in the Bank in another match? No, he won Money in the Bank against Mr. Kennedy, I think. Did with Mr. Kennedy?
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Kennedy, it won Raw, right?
Yes.
Yeah, when Edge won the strut thing, when he pinned the Undertaker win the World Championship. Okay. And also, if the Miz become the WWE Championship, I would be happy. But will he hold that title on? No. And also I would think this: if the Miz do lose the WWE Championship, if he win the WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre, they got a chance to make John Morrison turn on heel, or the Miz blame John Morrison for the loss. That the Miz, John Morrison be back at it. They could go either way, but if the Miz do win the WWE Championship, I would be happy. But he would not be the WWE Championship for that. If he would have 2016 and 2017 Miz, I think he would have the WWE Championship long. But this ain't the same Miz of 2016 or 2017. That's all I gotta say.
Very nice. So the next match on the card was Sasha Banks versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So basically the story going into the match, Sasha Banks is the champion. Carmella attacked her a few times, so that's how we got the match. Carmella came out with Reginald Thomas or whoever. I don't even know who the guy is. So this match was kind of like a proving test for Sasha in a way, because you can say that technically she already retained the title against Bayley on SmackDown, but for her to retain the title on a pay-per-view, that's a different thing, because if you look back at her track record previously, she really could not hold the title very long. She held the title for maybe a few weeks at best. But like I said, this match was basically to prove, like, okay, are they really serious with Sasha being the champion? Like, are they going to keep the belt on her for a lengthier amount of time? Like, are they going to do anything with her? Like, I think after TLC, I got to be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised about the finish. I'll kind of talk about the finish, but I'll kind of give a little spoiler alert. Yeah, I guess they are serious about it, because Sasha does retain. And I'll be honest, I actually thought this match was probably Carmella's best match ever. I don't know what it was, but Carmella, must have taken something very seriously, or Sasha is. And I will say, Sasha is definitely a wrestler who can wrestle a broomstick. And that phrase, for a lot of people that don't know, is basically a broomstick is basically a person who can't wrestle worth a shit. And Carmella, I'm not gonna say she's a broomstick, but she's not necessarily the greatest worker. So to work with someone like Sasha Banks, it's like, okay, like, are they gonna have this be a lengthier feud? Like, what are they doing here? Because let's be honest, Sasha really doesn't have anybody to wrestle on SmackDown, because Bayley's not really a main threat anymore. So I guess, like, to have Carmella be your next heel challenger makes sense, especially if you want Carmella to be a huge heel, which I wouldn't say she's a huge heel, but she's a competent heel. I would say the match was pretty good. It's your typical match where Carmella, is working on Sasha a little bit, and then it becomes more like a back and forth towards the end. And I believe, like, as the match, progressed, Carmella hit like 2 super kicks. Like, the one time where I thought a false finish actually worked was when Carmella hit like a couple super kicks, and I'm like, oh god, this is over, isn't it? And then Sasha kicked out, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I think this was after Sasha hit the Meteora on Reginald, which was cool. Sasha got the win via the bank statement. I would say overall it was a solid match. I'd give it a 7. It was probably Carmella's best match. Was it Sasha's best match? No, but it was a strong match. It definitely made Sasha look good. It legitimized Sasha, and it made Carmella look good. So I mean, it was a win-win. What do you have to say about the match, Deshaun?
If you tell me that Carmella gonna have a good match, I would say, are you crazy? Are you stupid? But actually, this match surprised me when I came when I heard that Carmella gonna say not Charlotte, Sasha Banks for the Strap the Women's Champions out there. Fuck, okay, they ain't gonna be a good match at all. But this surprised me because yeah, when you said like Sasha Banks could wrestle, it boomed it. Even Sasha Banks could wrestle Nana, it still would be a good match. But Carmella actually proved still she could have a great match. This is one of the best Carmella match. Is it the best Sasha Banks match? No, it ain't. It ain't Sasha Banks' best match. It is Carmella's best match. And Carmella, she got repacked, change her character. Yeah, I actually like what she doing right now on SmackDown. Is she gonna be a women's championship? No, no, not easy, no. But I think she would be great. But besides this, the match surprised me. I would give this match 7.5.
All right, that's fair. Now a question for you, Deshaun. Do you think they're keeping the belt on Sasha this long because Charlotte or Becky's not there?
Um, I I don't know because yes, Becky out Charlotte on Raw, but do you got any challenger for Sasha Banks on SmackDown? I mean, you got Carmella, that that ain't gonna now know. You got Betty, that she not with us anymore. You got the only person I see who face Sasha Banks for the title is Bianca Belair. That's the only one I could see. Also, fun fact. What her name? Sony. What her name? Um,
Sonya Deville.
yeah, she came back. Will she wrestle Sasha Banks for the women's champion? I don't know. Anything could happen. But besides that, who who she got? Who Sasha Banks got? The only one she got is Bianca Belair. So actually, I do see Bianca Belair could beat Sasha Banks in another pay per view, maybe at WrestleMania. But that's the only chance I could see Sasha Banks facing. So with WWE keep the title now for her, I don't know. She could lose the title on next Friday. Anything could happen with Sasha Banks title win because when you look at the track record of Sasha Banks, every time she holds a title, she always have short win. But with like all every time Sasha Banks won the Raw Women's Champion, she always have short win. But with the SmackDown Championship, she only won one. She got longer wins. So I could see both ways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would definitely but even regardless, though, I'm glad that WWE is taking Sasha Banks seriously, or at least a lot more seriously now. Because let's be honest, she ever since she came to the main roster, even though she's done a lot of things and she's had great matches, she's really been kind of bleh.
Yes.
I definitely think this year was probably Sasha Banks' best year. I mean, she won all 3 women's titles in 1 year. I mean, you can't get any better than that. And to now having a very lengthy title reign for her finally, it's good to see that Sasha is being taken a little bit more seriously as a wrestler. And I don't know if Becky's coming back, or if they're gonna do, or if they're gonna have like a switcheroo again draft. But I think right now the best thing to do is to keep the belt on Sasha for at least a few more months, like maybe till WrestleMania. You just can't have it be a very short title run. That's all I really. But so far, I mean, they're doing more with her than they did last time. So, I mean, hey, why not? So next up, we got the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin versus the New Day, who are the Raw Tag Team Champions. Um, Again, this match is kind of hard to rate because they have wrestled each other quite a few times, but this match was good. I think the finish made a lot of sense. It definitely makes the Hurt Business look really good. Again, it's your typical back and forth heel face match. The ending was kind of like they're teasing some dissension between Benjamin and Alexander, or like Alexander with the Hurt Business. I don't know, but there's gonna be like some dissension there. Basically, Benjamin was gonna get the last move in, and then Cedric tags himself into the lumbar check. I thought that was gonna be a false finish, and the Hurt Business are the new tag champs. Cedric Alexander finally wins a main roster title, and Shelton Benjamin finally, for the first time since 2009, is a main champion. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's awesome. And now the Hurt Business basically have all the main Raw championships. The Hurt Business got the tag belts, and the Bobby's got the U.S. title. I think, like I said, I kind of honestly want MVP to win the WWE title, so that way they could be a very dominant group, because they definitely need to be they have to be elevated to the main event slot, because they've done so much in the mid card. Like, there's only so much you can go before it becomes stale. Like, I want to see them really dominate. Like, especially this year, like this coming year, I want to see the Hurt Business do a lot more than just dominate the mid card. I want to see them dominate the main event spot. Even if you have to put the U.S. title on MVP, so that way Bobby Lashley could win the WWE title. Like, do whatever you have to do. Like, I want to see in 2021 the Hurt Business have every championship either on Raw or SmackDown. But I'll give this match again. I'll say a 7.5. The match was really good. What are your thoughts, Deshaun?
Um, you know, I agree with everything you said. Shelton Benjamin had not had not won a main Walker Championship 2009. That is shocking because Shelton Benjamin had a good wrestler. But um, I am happy for Shelton Benjamin getting a title like that with Santana. I don't know what they could do. They could like, and they don't do like what they did like in the '90s with the Rock and the Nation Domination. If they do that, I would be mad because I don't want to see that story because the Hood Biz are always doing great. And also, thing about the Hood Biz and should be in the main event. I don't care MVP get the WWE Championship, but then they somebody got to be a main champion. With Bobby Lashley would make perfect sense, but it had to be MVP. It's gonna be MVP. But by the way, the match, if you look at the match in the first half of the match, it was slow. But the end of the match, the neck of the match, was actually pretty good. Here they at a first half of the match, I would get it 6.9, but the neck of the match was very very great. I would get it 8 out of 10.
All right. Um. Let's get into our next match here. So for the women's tag team titles, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defended the tag team titles against. I'm telling you right now, the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. Let me rephrase that: the Raw Women's Champion. She's not defending her own title; she's fighting for another belt. And the returning Charlotte Flair. This match has a lot of problems. The first problem is Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion. She does not need another title. She should be okay, you can say, well, Bayley was the SmackDown champion and she held the tag belts. Yes, but you also got to think though too. Bayley also defended the SmackDown title a shit ton of times. Asuka has barely defended the Raw Women's title. Now, this is giving Asuka another excuse not to defend it. And this match is basically being used to basically build up Charlotte versus Asuka, where more than likely Charlotte is going to win the title from Asuka. Personally, this match just Shayna Baszler basically took the fall here, which pissed me off. Nia, I didn't like Nia Jax. To me, this is probably the weakest match of the show, just because the problem is, and I'm not saying this to be like that guy, but it's just, to me, the booking makes no sense here. It would have made more sense if Charlotte turned on Asuka midway through the match, walked out, and just have Shayna and Nia retain. Like, I understand, okay, you don't want Charlotte to lose, and yeah, you're making Charlotte a Grand Slam champion, but you can't really I guess in a sense it's like the match it's fine, but it's like it makes no sense in the long run. You can't have your champion, your world champ, your main women's champion win a tag title so she can keep not defending her title. And I'm not saying she doesn't defend her title, but when was the last time she really did so? It's just, to me, that's kind of frustrating, especially when you're looking at someone like Asuka, who WWE really has not done perfectly. And granted, she's won a ton of titles, but it's like, how long until WWE finally just says, you know what, we're done using you. You're back in the tag division. It's just like it's unnecessary. I gave this match a 6, or no, I'm gonna give it a 5 because of just how frustrating it is. What did you think, Deshaun?
I didn't give a single fuck about the match, but that you say everything right. Like also, what the last time she defended her champion? I remember the last time she defended her championship. Let's see. It was against Lana. It was against Lana. And Charlotte is, it. I would understand why they get the win to Austin and Charlotte because Charlotte just came back. You don't want Charlotte to lose. But Austin should not have 2 belts because she can't defend the Women's Championship because of the Booker decision. what makes sense she win the women's champion? That mean that she not gonna defend the Walk Women's Championship that much. And you could, and I'm gonna use the example. Let's see, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura, I know he didn't hold two belts, but you look at Shinsuke Nakamura, he wouldn't got the champion. But sometimes you forget because he has not been on TV, he has not defended his title, and you could say that for Arthur, she has not been on TV that much, or she has not been defending her championship that much. And also, they wasted Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler should go back to NXT, and Nia Jax is Nia Jax. But I understand why Arthur and Charlotte won the match. You know, you got the booking decision. Yes, Arthur and Charlotte should won. But you look at the main make sense point, Arthur and Charlotte should not won. At a today, yeah, I give the match 5 out of 10.
Very nice. Now let's get into the match that probably the only match we were really excited for. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, all hail the Tribal Chief, versus Kevin Owens in a TLC match for the Universal title. This was probably the best match of the show. It's easily, every Roman Reigns match will always be the best match of the show. If you people don't like it, then you are disrespecting the Tribal Chief.
Yes.
The match was really good. It definitely played into both of their strengths. Kevin, attacked Roman from behind. Kevin was like doing some crazy stuff. Jey Uso came in, and then Kevin basically killed him. He was smashing his leg with a chair and the ladder, and he did a pop-up powerbomb through the announce table. He was burying him in the rubble, and Roman did a Samoan drop through a table, and Kevin and Roman were going back and forth, and Jey always kept coming back, and the match was just a very brutal match, and it worked to both men's strengths. And the story they were trying to tell is Kevin, was going to try everything in his power to win the title from Roman, and Roman kept beating him down and down and down to where Kevin would always get up, and Roman's like, all right, I'm going to kick the shit out of you because I'm the Tribal Chief and you better respect me. But Roman just to me, this match was so perfect in terms of its storytelling and just its physicality that you can't really duplicate it. And that's why I say it's easily the best match of the show. We got Ninjoid in the chat. What's up, Ninjoid? But man, Roman and Kevin, to me, delivered easily one of the best matches of the year. And to me, this is just a really significant change, because if you think back to 2016 when Roman and Kevin were wrestling each other, the match at Roadblock was not that good. But then you look at a match like here, the match was fantastic. And it really shows just how good heel Roman is. I'm giving this match a 9. If you want to know the finish, basically Roman punched Kevin in the dick, and then he put him in the guillotine on top of the ladder, and Kevin got knocked the fuck out. You know the meme. You got knocked the fuck out, man. Kevin basically got knocked the fuck out, and Roman is still the Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief is still the head of the table. He's still putting the food on the table. Yeah, it's an overall 9 out of 10. Deshaun, what did you think?
The match was the best match on the show. Carol and Roman Reigns. When I heard the match gonna happen, I was not excited because I don't know who gonna win their match. But you look at it right now, if you wanna watch the pay per view, I would say give all the match that happened on the show, go into the match. Then technically the match was 2-on-1, but you know, but the match it actually was incredible. It had some great spot. The match it the best match on the show. The match it get a 10 out of 10 for me.
And you know what? I wouldn't disagree with that. So basically, if you want to know the aftermath, so then they had a rematch on the Christmas Day episode of SmackDown where it was a cage match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. That match was also really good. And again, Jey Uso came in, and he then puts like the freaking handcuff on, like he uses the handcuffs, which is more likely going to lead to something to the Royal Rumble, where Kevin is going to fight Roman Reigns again, where more than likely the tribal chief will stand tall, and I will be proud of my tribal chief. I support my tribal chief, and I stand with my tribal chief forever and ever. But yeah, like, and more than likely Roman is going to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, or he might face Big E. I don't know. He's going to do something after Kevin Owens. I hope it's something like Big E, or hell, maybe he'll even keep fighting Kevin Owens, which I'd be okay with that because the last 2 matches they had were great. So I'm okay with it either way because I get to see more of my tribal chief. All right, main event of the show. So this was shocking because it's a TLC pay-per-view, so you would think your main event would be a TLC match. Well, it's the year 2020, so anything can happen. Your main event of the show was actually an Inferno match. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right, an Inferno match, where the basic rule of the match, you have to light your opponent on fire to win. Doesn't that sound like a TLC main event to you? It was Randy Orton versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Inferno match. So you may be thinking to yourself, well, is it a cinematic match like the Firefly Funhouse match? Well, kinda, but it wasn't really. It was basically more so. It's basically the entire arena was on fire, and Randy was basically, Randy, both people were in their elements. So I'm going to be completely honest. I thought the match wasn't bad. Like, I definitely was like, oh, this match is good. Like, because if it was like a cinematic type match, I'd have been like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. But when I heard it's like an actual Inferno match, I'm like, oh no, this is going to be stupid, isn't it? Because if you remember, Payback 2017, they faced off in a Firefly Funhouse match. Oh, I wouldn't say it was more of like a House of Horrors match. Sorry, I got them both mixed up. And that match was trash. But surprisingly, this match was fine. It didn't necessarily do anything extravagant, but it did tell. It told a story. You know, basically the story of the match is Randy is basically a killer. Pretty much, he likes setting things on fire. He set the Undertaker on fire in a casket. He lit Bray Wyatt's house on fire, and now he's going to light Bray Wyatt on fire, apparently. Because that's what Randy Orton does now. He just lights people on fire. Fire. No, the basic story of the match is Bray wants revenge on Randy for what happened in 2017, where he lit his house on fire. And Randy's like, nah, bruh, we're good, you know? Meanwhile, Randy's going to kill him. So the next couple of weeks, we get mind games. You know, Alexa Bliss, who's now with Bray, is like the Harley Quinn dude, the Joker, but it's Alexa and Bray. Alexa's basically like, oh shit, Randy, carried Alexa, and it showed the Fiend's weakness. And then the next week, when he was facing Bray, the Fiend showed up and proceeded to choke him out with a mandible claw. And then to make things even crazier, he then Randy locked Bray into a casket and lit it on fire, only for then the Fiend to come out and basically attack Randy again. If that doesn't sound batshit crazy, I don't know what will. The match itself, it had pretty good storytelling to it. I'm not saying it's the greatest main event ever, but it was pretty cool. Basically, the whole arena was on fire, and Randy's like, what the fuck? Like, he never saw anything like this before. He ate his sister Abigail. At one point, Bray, the Fiend, brought out like this pickaxe that Randy had in 2017, and almost decapitated him with it. And I guess I kind of want to get into the finish of this match because this is just batshit insane. So Bray had him in the mandible claw. Randy then pushes Bray into the fire. Now the back of him is on fire, like his jacket is actually on fire. Now you would think, because you know how in Unforgiven 1998, where even though Kane was like this supernatural character, he still ran away on fire. No, the Fiend flat out ran into the ring, going after him while on fire. That was awesome. Only for then the Fiend to eat an RKO, which I was like, okay, this shit is gonna be cool. That shit was cool. Then the bell didn't ring, and I'm like, okay, so is the match not over? Like, is Randy going to be set on fire here? Like, is there going to be a twist? Well, there was a twist, ladies and gentlemen, and it was not one you would expect. So Randy then brings out a thing of gasoline. Now, you know how this would go. Usually, someone would get doused in gasoline, then either someone stops it or the guy gets up immediately and proceeds to put you in mandible claw. Well, he does douse in gasoline, and he grabs a lighter, or I think it was a match. And Randy then lights the match. Now, usually here, the guy would then get up. Well, what if I were to tell you in 2020, on a WWE pay-per-view, a man lit another man on fire? I'm not talking like an arm. I'm not talking about a leg. I'm talking about lighting a man on fire. He legit did this. I'm not kidding. Deshaun can back me up. He lit a man on fire.
Yep, he, with 2020 got crazier. The reason, you know what, 2020 have been crazy. You know what, I got a great idea. Let somebody fucking burn. Let set somebody on fire like in nothing. Of course, it was the real person. It was a freaking dog, but it's still a bad shit crazy moment because WWE is a PG thing. Will you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? You watch any PG stuff? What did I tell you? See somebody get burned, extra crispy in a PG show.
Uh,
Do you remember one? Do you know one?
Honestly, no. I don't remember. You know, usually like even like in back in 06 when MVP faced Kane in an Inferno match, like like your arm or leg would be on fire, but you wouldn't be lit on fucking fire, meaning like your fucking whole body is being lit on fire and turning into char. Like, no, they would not do that. Like, that would be Attitude Era type stuff, but even then that's going too far. But when you're looking back at, like, if I'm like rating this match based off the ending itself gets a 10 out of 10 just based off how batshit insane it is. But as far as the match is concerned, I thought the match was good. It definitely did what it needed to do. And you know what's funny about that whole thing? After he lit Bray on fire, Randy did his pose, and then the show ends. That's how you end your 2020. That's how you end your last pay-per-view 2020 is Randy Orton doing his pose while Bray is literally burning to a crisp.
Yeah.
No one's using a fire extinguisher. No one's trying to help him. But yet, legit a year ago, Bray was in a Hell in a Cell match where he got hit with a bunch of weapons, but the referee stopped the match. But now here we are. He's being lit on fire and no one's doing anything to help.
Yep.
Logic.
Yep. Randy Orton doing his pose. And you see somebody on the in the ring get an extra crispy in the ring on fire. So Credible 2020. Can't get Wilson. He already did. You saw somebody got lit on fire. Extra crispy. Bunny crispy like bunny pizza bag. Like that. So if you look at the match, you went in it. Oh yeah, the end of 10 out of 10. Oh, but you look at a match, I give it 7.9.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think overall the match itself was pretty decent, but the ending was awesome.
Yeah,
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, if you miss the Attitude Era, that's the only thing the Attitude Era you go see in the PC Era. You go see a person get extra crispy bunny. Turn it to fried chicken. Now,
if you're all wondering what happened after this, so Alexa Bliss, remember her from what I told you about her a little bit? Well, she then basically, formed Alexa's Playground, where it's an actual playground, and she invited Randy Orton to be on there. So, of course, Randy doesn't show up, except he goes into the Firefly Funhouse, because by this point, Bray is basically still Ash. So, freaking Randy starts destroying the puppets, And then later on in the show, Randy's out in the playground and I'm not joking, and even though it's not actual gasoline, Alexa pours the jug of gasoline all over herself and wants Randy to light her on fire. What the fuck?
Yep. Yep. You see them up for gasoline on them.
Well, the USA wanted edgy content.
Yeah.
I was thinking, they were thinking more like on the lines of swear words or maybe some blood here and there. I don't think they were talking about lighting people on fucking fire.
Yeah. Like people say, oh, we need this back. I want blood. I bet one thing you never thought you want to see somebody get bunny in the wing. You let somebody put gasoline on them.
I mean, I guess it's their fault because they should have clarified that.
Yep. And even you get burned, you still gonna see blood, and that only bloody thing you gonna see. So
Man, man, that was freaking brutal.
yeah.
I mean, I might have to change my grade. I might give it a 7.5. I thought the show was pretty good for what it was. You had a batshit crazy, main event. You had a fucking awesome, you had a great match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. You had just a lot of great stuff that overall I can't really say anything else other than, if you haven't watched the show yet, yeah, give it a watch. You might like it.
And definitely watch the ending though. You want to see somebody get bunny? You just watch the end of the show. You would like it.
It was fucking amazing. 10 out of fucking 10 that ending.
Yes. 10 out of 10.
Now, before we wrap up, we usually have to do the usual tier list because we usually do a tier list at the end of these things. So I figured for this tier list, since it's the end of 2020, this batshit crazy year is over, let us do a tier list of every WWE pay-per-view that came out this year. This is going to be interesting. So we got God tier, all right, but could have been better. Meh, had full potential but got ruined, or just utter garbage. So basically God tier is like the best of the year, and then you got all right, could have been better, meh, had full potential, and then you just had the trash. So let's start with the Royal Rumble 2020. I think I'm gonna have to put it in God tier because you had Bryan versus the Fiend, you had Edge return, you had all this really really cool stuff, and then Drew McIntyre won the Rumble. Like, there's so much great stuff about it. It's in God tier. Next up we have Super Showdown.
Well, we all know what it will be in.
Yep, it's utter garbage. There's nothing to even like. The tag matches were good. Everything else was bad. Ricochet got buried in 30 seconds. You even had freaking Goldberg beat the Fiend with a botched jackhammer. That was bad. Everything was bad. That little gauntlet match was shit. Everything was shit. It was garbage. All right, next up, Elimination Chamber. I'd put it.
Oh, go ahead.
I'd say it's either meh or all right.
I put it full potential because
Really?
look at the pay per view. If you look at the pay per view, you might not like it. But when I saw the pay per view, I did not like the pay per view at all. In the main event, when you see Shayna Baszler like eliminate everyone, like oh, she eliminated everyone. Oh, okay, that hit. Oh, okay. So I don't remember nothing. The only thing I remember is Shayna Baszler won beat everybody in the elimination chamber match. The tag team elimination chamber match. And also the Undertaker choke slam AJ Styles. That's the only thing I remember. Also Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental Championship. Besides
Actually, I might have to put it in all right because there's actually a lot of things I liked about the show. I liked the 2 chamber matches. I liked Bryan and Gulak. I liked Zayn won the top. I might put it in all right, actually.
oh sure, I forgot about that match. I forgot about Bryan Drew Galloway. You know what? Yeah, I put it all right. Only because that match was great. That match was good.
Next up, WrestleMania 36. Now, I might have to put this in God tier. At
You know
least
what?
for 2020.
Yes, because you had that Boneyard match, you had that Firefly Funhouse match, you had Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Champion. And you look at a PBA yourself, yes, it would be a mess, but with them moment right there, it got it.
Yeah, I think the show had a lot of great stuff. You had the triple threat ladder match, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, Undertaker and AJ Styles in a Boneyard match, the Firefly Funhouse match. You had a lot of really good stuff. If you told me WrestleMania 36 with no fans was actually going to be better than a lot of WrestleManias, I would have been like, yeah, no. But it surprisingly it was. Next up is Money in the Bank.
I'm gonna put it God tier.
Really?
Because you had that great match with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Also, you had that fun Money in the Bank match. I actually like that match. And you look at a pay-per yourself, yes, it's not a good pay-per-view or a pay-per-view. But between them two matching and them two matches could consider one of the best matches in 2020. I would put in God tier because definitely Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins definitely a match of the year contender for 2020. So I put it.
I agree with you. The Rollins and McIntyre match was good, but I think overall the show really wasn't spectacular. Though, like I thought the Fiend and Braun Strowman match was kind of at best,
Yeah.
and I thought the women's match was just bleh. And I might put it at all right because I will agree with you that those matches were good, but also Otis won the Money in the Bank ladder match, which was garbage.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to forget about it.
Next up is the horror show at Extreme Rules. I might have to put this also at all right.
I would put it at meh. I don't remember too much about it. I already heard it was no bad. It was not the worst show for 2020 like Super Showdown. But I don't remember too much about the match. Only thing I remember is the eye match for Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio when Rey Mysterio had fake eyeball and that guy off a swamp fight match. So that's the only thing I remember. And also one thing I do remember was Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler faced each other for the WWE Championship. They're the only three things I remember from the pay per view. So that hit. I would put that meh.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I thought the show was meh. Like it's definitely not under the same lines of these two shows, but I thought, yeah, it's okay. Next up is SummerSlam. This one's tough because on the one hand, there's some really good stuff, but there's also some. I might put it also at God tier just because I think the Tribal Chief is back, and the Tribal Chief basically said, "Nope, motherfucker, this is my yard, bitch," and then proceeded to kick the shit out of Braun Strowman and the Fiend. I did really like the McIntyre Orton match, and I think Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins match was really good. The Fiend Strowman match was okay. I do think the match needs a little bit more time, but the Roman return was great.
Yeah, I put it God tier. It has some few good matches. Did, did it have like the best match ever? No, but it has some few good matches. Also, we can't forget about the tribal chief who put the damn food on the table. Woven Wayne came back. So, it got you.
Next up is Payback. I might have to put this at meh.
I gotta put that meh. The good thing about this show was Woven Wayne winning the Universal Championship and the theme song of the show. They're the only two things were good about the show. Also, Keith Lee beat Wayne White. That's the only thing good about the show.
You said it best. Next up is Clash of Champions.
God tier.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Clash of Champions was great. Like, the undercard wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But the matches that mattered, like, were really good. You had the Roman and Jey Uso matches, which might be one of the best matches of the year. You had freaking the ambulance match, which was good, but I didn't think it was Drew's best match. And then the triple threat ladder match was great.
Oh yeah.
Like, all of it was so good that it's God tier. Next up is Hell in a Cell.
I put it God tier.
This one's hard because on the one hand, the Roman J Uso match was great. It was fantastic. The Bailey Sasha Banks match was great. The Otis match wasn't that good. I did not like the U.S. title match. The Orton McIntyre match was okay. I mean, even though it's two good matches, do I really want to put it in God tier?
You could put it like all right.
Yeah, I'll put it in all right. Survivor Series, I might say had full potential, but it did get ruined.
Yes, I agree 100%. And you know what? Out of respect, the only good match on the show was Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and also that Undertaker beach. So the only good thing about the show. And technically, you would say the Street Part for in the New Day. I would give them that. That's the only three things were good about the show. Besides that, the show was not that great.
You said it best. The Tribal Chief always has the best matches, and if anybody disagrees with that, then they're wrong. Next up is finally TLC. I think this should just be God tier, just because.
Yeah, because because of Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, and somebody got burned extra crispy in the ring. So
Oh no,
yeah,
it's not even the Roman Reigns match. It's just the fact that someone got lit on fire in the middle of the ring.
oh yeah, yeah, that God tier.
That should just makes it God tier. All like, to me, that should just be the greatest thing ever. Like, that's easily the best pay per view of the year because a guy got lit on fire.
Yeah.
Now, Backlash was not put on here, which I was actually really confused about. But I mean, if it was on here, I'd put it at God tier too. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
yeah, because that Wayne Orton Edge was a great match.
and also McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, which,
Oh yes, yeah, that match surprised me. That was a good match too.
and with that being said, though, we are going to wrap this show up. Another pretty fun stream. You know, I hope that it gave you guys a little bit of like a sad little thing, but at the same time, you know, you got a little bit of a laugh out of it. We're gonna let Deshaun tell everybody where they can find him at, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Deshaun Wiggins. I changed my YouTube channel name to Deshaun Wiggins. So y'all can find me here. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Robert Thorn Dickerson. And also, you can find me in a grocery store if you know what I mean. Today, yeah.
Very nice. You guys can find me on this channel where I do a bunch of shows per week, like this one. Next episode will be a little less solemn and maybe be a little bit more fun because maybe next episode, since there's no pay-per-view to review, at least not yet, maybe we'll be doing a topic that I want to do is which NXT call-up got fucked up the worst or messed up the worst, so that way YouTube doesn't get upset. I also do a show on Sunday, Shadow Y, where it's like we're going to be reviewing The Office Season 3. And we do a show on Thursday called Splash Talk, where we read fan fiction for the first hour and bullshit around the second hour. So be sure to check that stuff out. Also, you can find me sometimes on Chris Knight's channel, The Real Review 3000, where sometimes, I'm part of the weekly wrap-up or the weekly rumble. You can find me sometimes on JJ's channel, where sometimes I'm part of Randomness at its finest. And sometimes you can find me on Anzo Big Report Entertainment's channel, where sometimes, I go over there when they do their game streams and just, talk with everybody and watch some good competition. And you guys can find me on Enjoy243's channel, whether as part of Galactic Chat or any of their fun streams. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a stream with Ninjoid on his channel, where we're going to be showing our comic book collection. And you can also find me sometimes on Sauerkraut's channel with Animation Takeover or any of his fun stuff. And you can find me also on EJ's channel, Zach's channel, everybody's channels. I put their links in the description below. And also, you guys can find me on Twitter at TheAustinator17. If you guys just want to hit me up and message me, just go ahead and do so at TheAustinator17. And I'm on Discord at TheAustinator. Also, I want to give a shout out to Nerdotica. It's not that kind of stuff. It's Nerdotica. It's for nerds, which is hosted by LDG Pixels. If you have computer problems, I linked both his stuff down below, and also I have Poe and the Big O Show's channels in the description as well. Let's get them up to wherever they need to be. Let's get everyone where they want to be. And yeah, that about does it though, guys. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Emma, I believe Keisha was here, Ninjoid, Andrew, TWTG, who was here before the stream got postponed, which I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's because I was on Galactic Chat earlier tonight. I didn't think we were going to go this late. So yeah, guys, that about does it. So I want to thank you all for watching. This is the Austinator and Deshaun signing out.